Violence is the underpinning of everything, quite literally. When I'm saying everything, I'm talking in a literal and not in a hyperbole sense. I'm being serious. I'm talking about the real world, about our civilized society. It is the underrock of not only human nature, but like I said, of society itself. And Metal Gear Revengeance, even though it's just a game, it does a great job of captivating this sense. Apart from its great boss soundtracks, or its nice berry system, what captivates me the most about this game is its core. It's what we play the game for, what it's known for: violence. Now, with that said, Metal Gear Revengeance is a hack and slash game where you might expect to use smash buttons. Yes, you will get through the game just doing that, but up until you get to the boss fights, really, which is what this game is known for. Aside from the full-on speech of Armstrong or memes of Moonsoon. What this video is truly about though is I want to divide it up in two parts, really. And I want to try to answer two questions. Not questions really, but statements that will prove my point. So, point one being the violence that underpins a main character, Raiden, and those he so wishes to take out. And two, the violence being the only solution if you want to implement and enforce your ideology on the world or an individual. Now, let's get to work. So let me start off simple. Raiden is the killer. Can't get simpler than that, right? As we progress through the story, his morals and sense of justice are questioned of why he does what he does. From the first encounter with Jetstream Sam with Moonsoon up to the famous Senator Stephen Armstrong in the end. Now, I'm not here to go in depth or question Raiden's morals or justification of why he decided to be a killer. Matter of fact, I'm not even here to question Jetstream Sam or Armstrong or Moonsoon or any of the characters' justification. What I'm rather here to do is question their actions. And even though this is gonna be a weird link, I'm going to connect them, and I'm going to show you how it is interconnected closely to the real physical world, even though this is just a fictional game, data on the screen, and we're just mashing buttons. Now, Raiden is seen through the glances as a hero to the side characters who support him, and also to us, the player. But that's also how he sees himself and justifies his actions. He sees himself as someone out to protect the weak. But let me give you a different spin-off. He's actually no different than Armstrong or the other warmonger bosses he fought, since his actions are the same as those he goes against. Violence. No matter what spins or flowery moral code you put to it, the solution to the core problem is violence. Like I said in the beginning of the video, the underrock of society is violence. Even to maintain a stable and peaceful world order, Raiden had to commit gruesome acts of violence and gruesome acts to those who so go against him. Armstrong believed the world should suit the fittest and strongest. That was his ideology. But, like I said before, to be able to undermine and destabilize society and to be able to shift society itself, he had to resort to violence to implement his ideology and his moral code, quote, moral code. He had to implement and rely on violence to change it. Same thing with Raiden. The answer to his ideology, he used gruesome acts and violence. I hate repeating myself so much, but There's literally no way else to put it. They committed gruesome acts to get to where they are now, to get to high position, for Armstrong to get to such a high governmental position where he's able to have power and money and wealth and be able to do what he does. Same thing with Ryden. He survived his childhood all his life up to this point with violence, being known worldwide as a killer.
The war is the big payoff. Right. Big rate.
And now, the answer to the second question I implemented in the beginning of this video. How violence is the only solution if you want to implement and enforce your ideology in the world. Well, how can fictional characters on a screen be connected to the real world? Well, the answer is simple. The fact that we live in a society is good enough of an answer. Really? A beginning. The fact that you have the luxury of sitting down on your couch and have time to digest this content and watch me and listen to me, it's a simple enough of an answer. Food in the refrigerator? Hopefully you're not starving. Bills have been paid? Hopefully. You have the luxury of access to the internet. Well, that's a fact. Without the internet, you wouldn't be watching me. But why? Why are all these luxuries given to you? Why are you listening to me? Why do you have access to all the things 1,000 years ago people could have only imagined? And even then, I don't think they even imagined of ever sitting down on a couch, of never worrying about food. But we do. We have access to all these things and we take it for granted. Why? Well, because a group of individuals came along and decided to establish rules for people to follow, for you to follow. One major way to accomplish this is through the potential of violence. Someone powerful enough, the government, decided to establish sections and articles, rules, on top of violence to make you comply. You comply because of the potential of violence. You listen to the police because you understand they're capable of unleashing hell on you. You give your phone to the robber because you understand there's no way out of to de-escalate the situation. He already has you on gunpoint. So it's either that or you die. You try to de-escalate a situation at a bar against a group of military-age males because you understand it can get ugly. Power and violence are related to a T. In the world of old, if you as an individual couldn't back your opinion with a threat of violence, you were doomed.
Playtime's over.